So we move on to the final of the 10s competition here at the London International 7s 2019. We are live from Twyford Avenue. My name's Nick Heath, alongside me former Rugby World Cup winner Mo Hunt. And this one, as you can see, is going to be fought out between the Southwark Lancers and the hosts Wasps. Southwark playing from left to right, and the Wasps, of course, in their traditional gold and black. Wasps have got 5 players from 5 different nations in the team. They're also currently recruiting players for their 15s team, offering free beer to anyone who joins, so that sets the stall out. They beat the Army in the LIT7s this year, which is no mean feat. And the Southwark Lancers. Now, Mo Hunt, I think you're telling me that this is maybe your first experience of a bit of 10s action.
Yeah, it is actually. I'm looking forward to it. Seasoned professional over here. You were saying that a lot more set piece, a lot more contact.
It's a sort of blend of somewhere between the set, as you would expect in terms of the numbers, between the 7s and the 15s game, because there is a little bit of a need for a bit of set piece ability in terms of winning maul, winning ruck time, that kind of thing. But then obviously there's a little bit more space out in the field to make sure you can still have that broken field running that you get in 7s.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously you still got the 15s feel, because I'm pretty sure both teams just did a huddle and a little squeeze, 1, 2, 3 squeeze, which I haven't seen in a long time, so nice to see that tradition still around.
There are never normally enough of you on a 7s field to bother doing that, are there?
We're too exhausted after the warm-up, that's what's happening.
Excellent. So it's the Southwark Lancers who are going to get us started then, playing from left to right, and Wasps, the hosts, who are looking to receive it. It is the 10s final here at the London International 7s tournament. Game is underway. First job from Wasps is to get the restart right, which they managed to do so. You can see plenty of the physicality in the opening exchanges, players carrying into contact once more. And then once you've seen 2 or 3 players involved in the breakdown, you know that there aren't going to be too many in the rest of the field, and that's what Wasps are looking to try and take advantage of now. Surging up over the halfway line, then putting the little kick in as the winger chases. Is it going to sit in field enough for him to be able to finish this one? Oh, what a brilliant bit of cover from Southwark. My goodness. It looked for all the world that Wasps might be in. And now Southwark are going to have to try and make it work from under their own posts, and well, in the hands of the big man who effects the offload away to the slightly bigger man. Lancers with a bit of work to do to try and find the men to put into space, but now have they managed to get the winger isolated here as they try and turn back in field. Offload is just made. The assistant is happy to tell the referee he's happy with it, but Wasps then going off their feet to try and win that back. But Southwark showing some real assurance, coming back in defence there and then playing their way out.
Yeah, they really did. Different style, because it looked like Wasps were going straight up the middle looking for contacts and then opening them up, as you said, whereas Southwark, they were looking for that offloading game, and they managed to get an overlap of 3 men. I'm not sure how they did that with 10 people on the field, but brilliant play by them.
Wasps managed to smuggle it away. That was very nicely done. Arriving on the shoulder was Osama Aslam, and he's there again just to pick and try and get the ball away. It looked like it might have come forward out of the tackle there, but Ed Fogg is looking to try and find some room over on that far side. Once again, the requirement is for the Lancers to get back and deal with slightly messy ball, but deal with it they do. Then a little gap opens up on the near side around the ruck. Oh, and then the footwork now. Is he going to go all the way here over the halfway line? Aslam comes in with the tackle. Going to need the clear out to be good, which it was. Now then, look to try and isolate the last man, but the ball has just come forwards. Unfortunate there for Israel Satonwa. And it's going to end up in a full turnover for Wasps. And they're in with the score.
That's the way you're going to get your tries in this game, isn't it? That turnover, the intensity that you can play at after a turnover's happened. Defences are all over the place. The boys look knackered out there. I should say men, shouldn't I? The guys are knackered out there. Hands on heads, hands on hips already, but brilliant finish. Good bit of running. Great continuity. You see here, turnover boys, just the quickest to it. Great little step. And then the cover defender just went off his feet a little bit early for me, if he can stay and just chase that. But it all came from poor hands, didn't it? They looked like they were shaping up to go straight under the sticks. All it needed was one more pass. Unfortunately, that ball's gone down, as you mentioned. And then that turnover is just crucial.
So first score on the board then goes to the home side. Southwark 0, Wasps 7. It's a really good chase of the kick from Wasps. They just couldn't quite get their hands on it. Penalty goes to Southwark.
Wasps a bit heated on the floor over there as well. Still from that kickoff. As you mentioned, great kickoff chase, but also really great to get it up in the air. It means he can't be touched when he's up in the air. Oh, lovely dummy.
Now then, one last man on the outside. What's the gas like? Oh, it's going up to full temperature. Into the corner, Southwark go. Knew he was under pressure, but that is a strong finish. Nicely done from Jamie O'Connor to get the Lancers on the score sheet.
Yeah, good running from O'Connor. He's actually subbing himself off now. He's running towards the bench, doing the universal subbing sign.
Also the same sign for if you need kitchen roll in the garden quickly.
Which nobody ever does, by the way. Nobody ever does. Great conversion there. O'Connor was looking to try and get as close to the sticks as he could, wasn't he? But didn't need it with a kick like that. Lovely bit of play. Great hands, no look pass, and that dummy just absolutely sold him down the river. Stood there with his arms in the air, wasn't he? And that's all you need is a bit of gas on the edge when you create opportunities like that. Good cover D coming in, but that would have been a penalty try for me because of the seatbelt tackle if he didn't get that ball down.
Laying the law down, Mohan. Right
I did a refs course once upon a time. So.
Right on the money. So the conversion has made it all square, 7 points apiece, and then it's a little loose from Wasps. They're going to try and come back down this near side, but door well and truly shut there. Shape to try and make the clearance kick there, but that wasn't being bought by anybody. And then Sam Lamont was ever present. Oh, now that was high. That was a pretty obvious one for the referee. And it's Sanjeeva Camillus, sorry. And he's going to get a yellow card for his sins as well.
Not only is he yellowed, he's just taken his shirt off. I'm not sure the protocol on that, but...
Maybe so he can turn around to the referee in a minute, come on in a different number.
We'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it. I think he's actually taken his shirt off, walked straight under the sticks towards where the bar is, so I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him.
Hunt will be reporting on indeed.
Coming live from Twyford Avenue.
Yeah.
Good tactical awareness though to take a bit of time, go down the pitch, better field position. Obviously they're one man down. Get as many people into that as they can. Oh, they've just lost the line out as I'm saying that.
Loose
Scrappy.
again. Yeah, needs somebody to get down on it. Which Sam Lamont does. Now, looking on that outside arc again, this is going to be a race into the corner. Look at the speed they've got here, the Lancers. Well, brilliant from their number 13, Hugh Nicholson.
Yeah, that was great play, wasn't it? Extra man on the outside, interest in that last defender, so instead of staying put on the man with the ball, he had two eyes on what was happening outside, and he just needed to keep that connection in defence. But brilliant outside break. Didn't even use footwork, he knows his pace, knows that he's got gas on his opposite number, and has just absolutely done him on the outside arc.
Conversion was certainly taken by the strong breeze. But the Lancers, having gone down to the first score, now find themselves in front, 12 points to 7.
Yeah, brilliant break, wasn't it? Fowler just needed to make that hit. He's just gone too high, too army. Thought that he was going to pass the ball, so was never in a position to make that tackle, really. And really great play from Nicholson to spot that. Just stand him up and go around the outside.
Wasps from the restart, toiling and tearing their way through, but the Lancers doing enough just to stop. Thought the little half gap had opened up there, but now it just might have done for the big form of Jim Hines, running and taking the ball. Now Wasps, oh, this is a little break on the outside. Thought he might have got away. Now the Lancers, this is where they've proved to be fairly dangerous in running back this form of turnover possession. And again, well, that's a tackle off the ball. The referee has spotted it, but now turning the last man inside and out. They're going to get away for another one. Well, we said how dangerous they can be, and once again they've done it. It's Pete Horan. He's just waiting to get it down. Very, very nicely done.
It's a clever tactic in attack, but in defence it's so annoying when whoever's just made a break like that holds the ball up and makes you chase back to put it down. Brilliant run by him though, fantastic finish. As we've just mentioned, the support that's coming in on those turnover balls is just killing Wasps at the moment. They're absolutely smothering them. As soon as they get that turnover, they're up in the face. First man on the ball is going direct and hard, keeping the ball alive, playing through the contact, ball play. It's got it all. As you mentioned, tackle off the ball. He's alive to it. He just keeps hold of the ball, and then that support play. Knows he's got the gas to come in and away, and fantastic finish.
Jouet was certainly the effort there. Not going to stop for the referee to put the whistle in. And the try is scored. So the sun continuing to shine then at half-time in this final of the men's 10s competition. So the Lancers going down initially to Wasps, but leading at the break by 17 points to 7. So Wasps about to get the second half restarted through Ed Fogg, their number 10, who I'm reliably told by the team never wears a shirt and has skinny abs.
It doesn't count if you don't work for your abs. You shouldn't be able to have them out.
Is that the rule?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
So if you're just skinny and you have abs, no one wants to see Skeletor, do they?
Need to be trained. No, I'm only joking. If you've got it, flaunt it, as they say.
And from Wasps, Rory Mason taking it at the front. They look to get in and use a bit more physicality, a little bit more pick and go from Wasps, and we haven't seen too much of that. It is something that you can employ in the game of tens. That was a little high, and then the offload, but it's just gone forwards. All the tricks of the trade from Thomas Finesse. It didn't quite work. Meantime, one of the Lancers has taken a blow.
Lancers, for me, are defensively doing a great job at the moment, because especially with Fog, they're kind of giving him a half gap, so it looks as though he's got space to run, and they're just shutting that space down really quickly, and he's negating the two, maybe three players that he's got free on the outside channels. So for me, that ball needs to go a little bit quicker, a little bit more depth, shift the ball a little bit quicker, and then you'll start to see the gaps, because defensively the Lancers will be worried about the outside channels, so they'll start to overchase. At the moment, the Lancers defensively have got Wasps worked out.
Top analysis from Mo Hunt, who is with us, of course, ahead of the Women's Super Series taking place in San Diego. Flying tomorrow, I understand?
Yeah, we are. Meet at 11ish, I think. I'm not sure what time our flight is, but...
But it is the top 5 women's sides in the world. And, well, fascinated to hear recently, of course, England captain Sarah Hunter saying, arguably right now, it's bigger than the World Cup.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it at length on camps and stuff, but when you go to a World Cup, you don't play that many top-tier teams. So you maybe meet 3 at the max, potentially in the semi-final, final, and obviously 1 in your pool stages. So for us to get the opportunity to run out against the 4 top teams at the moment is huge.
Well, we're looking forward to tuning into that, where the coverage comes now. That's a lovely pass, and then an inside line. What a finish this is going to be from the Lancers. He knew exactly where he was coming from and where he was going there. It's a super run from Nicholson. He got 1 in the first half, and what a lightning start for him in the second.
Just lovely, lovely play, isn't it? Defensively, it's so difficult to defend when you've got a midfield scrum, because technically you always have to be backing off, but just when you're hitting the ball and the line at that pace and that ferocity, it's so difficult to defend. There's not a lot you can do about it.
And they are the extras as well. So Nicholson's try converted to take the Southwark Lancers up to 24 now. They are looking like they're going to spoil the party for the hosts.
Yeah, brilliant running. He looked like he was worried that Hughes was going to come and tackle him, and then he realised that it was actually his teammate.
Who are you?
So
Go away.
Probably didn't need to accelerate quite as hard to the line, but if you've got pace like that, I'd be showing it off.
Well, as they say, leave it all out there. It is the final of the tens competition after all. Wasps might have been looking forward to drinking their own bar dry in celebration, but Southwark Lancers had other ideas, leading by 24 points to 7 now. Restart. Don't manage to get anyone quite underneath that, so Wasps invited to play it. Big tackle in midfield. Just bringing down Oscar, Fowler, Marsh, and then another one. Looking both ways. Mo Hunt talking about the effective defence from the Lancers, but this is better running from Wasps. Now that's gone a little too far forwards. They're going to have to bring that one back, but that was just the sort of break that Wasps could have done with finishing off.
Yeah, initially lovely little out of the back door offload at the line. Really, really good play. Like I said before, that when they're coming in and taking the ball to contact, really important that you have 2 sides to attack from, because then that just splits the defence. Equally, when you can get people flooding those channels and keep the ball alive, it's so difficult to recover defensively, pushing Lancers into a scramble. But unfortunately, that last pass, hands came off it a little bit too early and it's just floated forward in the wind. They'll be disappointed with that, because it was a really great opportunity, as you said, to get them back into this game.
He'll love you for saying that floated forward on the wind.
Maybe I'm being too generous.
Now there's that inside line again. They're just not able to spot it. He just keeps stepping in that couple of metres. Just when his opposite numbers have lined him up. It's all about those out to in lines. Super work from Nicholson. He's got a hat-trick in the final.
Lucky number 13 over there, isn't it? Yeah, he's summing himself off that. That's the universal sign for can I have a sub please, that I was mentioning earlier. But fair play to him. When you're hitting a line, as I mentioned, with that intensity, it takes it out of you, and you can see that he's absolutely spent as he's walking across to the bench.
29-7 now. The Lancers well in control of this final.
They really are a well-oiled machine, aren't they? First pass a little bit high, checks in, but it's just the timing. They just stand up the defence. I think it's that combination again, Hughes and Nicholson. They're just standing up the defence, waiting for him to come onto the ball. Nicholson just picks his line every time, and defences are just losing him at the moment.
Coming up after this game, we do have the men's open semi-final. Then we have the ladies' social final. The men's social final, and we finish with the men's open final after that. So 4 more games to come after this 10s final. Let us know where you're watching from, incidentally. You can get in touch with me on Twitter at @NickHeathSport. Check the messages in just a couple of moments at the end of this game. So let us know where you're tuning in from. Of course, plenty of international talent here over the course of this tournament. It is the London International Sevens tournament. And well, we mentioned a little earlier some of the countries where people are from, the likes of Japan, Fiji, Barbados, New Zealand, South Africa, Nigeria, Wales, and of course England. It is generally a high standard here from the teams that regularly compete on the Sevens circuit. And of course a bit of 10s as well. While the game's going on, we've actually got a player down receiving attention for a bit of cramp. The Lancers wanted to get going.
Yeah, I feel his pain. If you have bad cramp, it is one of the worst things. Last thing you want to do is get up and stand on it, have to stretch it out.
I was
nice of the referee to stop it though.
I was once gently sitting down on a tall bar stool, having played an all-day touch tournament, when I got cramp in both of my hamstrings at the same time, and I looked like, well, I mean, God
you
knows
can
what
only
I look like.
imagine.
Yeah, I look like the Tin Man with ants in his pants. Let's put it that way. It was a sight I don't wish to be repeated. We saw the likes of the Oxfam Crusaders earlier. The men's semi that we will get to see next will actually be the Brumbians against the Preseli Barbars, so we'll be able to bring you news a little later of who has got into that final. And other semi taking place on another field, but it will be the Brumbians against the Preseli Barbars. Here come Wasps over the halfway line. Oh, twisted and turned back, presenting it. Decent enough. They've got a long way to go on the score sheet, but can they find their way to another score? Little late offload. It was low, but well handled. But now the chase is on, and you can see how hungry Southwark Lancers still are for this as they chase it into the 22. Wasps do well to tidy it up. Knock on, but it's become a penalty, and Wasps will take that quickly. Up out of the 22. Well, the Lancers back 10. Is the ref happy enough? There is a penalty advantage being played. Nice little bit of feet, but then it's met with a big hit.
Physical hits going in, isn't it?
Offload, offload. Wasps just not quite able to find the width and the holes that the Lancers have been finding relatively easily.
Yes, because the difference is Wasps are playing more individual, whereas the Lancers, they're kind of holding the defence up, waiting for that line, and the line's coming so late and so fast that the Wasps' defence is just losing the Lancers' attack.
Well, Lancers have just lost a man to the bin. He'll be out there for 2 minutes. Player on the far side has run on. He's putting his shirt on as he's joining the field of play. I think he might have confused the yellow card for a replacement. Wasps in the meantime aren't going to hang around. Bowl it off. That was a nice support line. Now have they got the numbers? Can they finish it this time? We saw them blow a chance earlier on. Got to avoid the forward pass. That was a sideways hit and a half. But they might get through. They are through. Wasps get their second score of the game. It's the big number 3, Stan Tora.
Popular try scorer from the crowd in that bottom corner by the ice cream van as well. But that was just raw pace and power, wasn't it?
Well, it was a bit better, wasn't it? Just a little bit more continuity and more support.
Yeah, it really was. I thought the initial pass on the outside had gone too early, but that pick and go caught the defence napping. Knew his way to the try line, didn't he?
Little short restart to try and put the pressure on. Little feint left, and now the chip through, and there's barely anyone able to come back and challenge him for it, but it did sit up nicely. But he's booted that into a far field. So unhappy is he with his effort.
Yeah, he's had a quality game, hasn't he? So I think this is very out of character from Hughes. Oh, he was wondering what his try celebration was going to be. Just took his eyes off the ball before he's had it. It's happened to all of us, mate. Lovely little step initially, though. Made the Wasp defender pirouette on the spot.
Just set them back on their heels, didn't they?
And then great decision making to go for the little dink over the top. Too often there's so much space in the backfield and everyone's too scared to try the little chip. I know I definitely am, so it's nice to see him drop it on his boot, and obviously could have regained it quite easily.
Free kick goes to Wasps at the scrum. Now they will head down that far side. Tor is the man who's waiting on the outside. They know how dangerous he is, and look, when he gets into that extra gear, the physicality also becomes the issue in terms of having to stop him. A little bit loose on the floor, but Wasps have got their tails up again here. What left is there for Wasps to try and do here? That's really good running. Nicely done from Furness. Now it's loose. Turnover ball for the Lancers. It's a little bit scrappy in the 22. Well, Wasps turn it back. Furness, so close, needed the offload, gets it away. Suggestion of a high tackle over the line, but either way the ball is down, and I think it's Ed Fogg who's the scorer for Wasps. Just getting a little overcooked over the try line.
Yeah, they're all right. They're just playing up to the crowd, aren't they? You can see people gathering down the bottom. Obviously, high shot over the line causes the reaction, but so much better from Wasps. The passing accuracy so much better. The running with intent, running at spaces rather than just trucking it up into two defenders that are sat waiting. They're moving the point of attack, which is why they're having so much more success. And then those offloads, which in the first half were going behind people or above their heads, was going to hand, and unfortunately it's just a little too late for them.
Yes, it certainly proved to be. Well, Southwark Lancers, who started the game by going down a score to Wasps, have ended up winning this one relatively comfortably. Wasps a little late surge to narrow that deficit and make it 29-17, but it was a 29 points to 7 score at one stage. Let's have a little look back at the scores then from this 10s final.
Yeah, lovely little acceleration through the contact. Brilliant finish. Too good for the covering defence. Then you see Lancers just a little show and go. Sold out the defender. Then again, little ball play, just manipulating the defence, waiting for his teammate to come on. Hit it with absolute pace and just lost the outside defender there. Good finish.
Yeah, nicely done from Jamie O'Connor. And then our first glance at what Mr. Nicholson could do, his first of the game, as the wind picks up.
Yeah, it's just a lovely little outside break, isn't it? He knows how fast he is. Slight stand up of the defender, put him on his heels a little bit. You see a massive ball carry. Ball play. Keeps the ball alive, throws it on the inside, and just absolute raw pace coming in from the wing from Horan.
Last-ditch tackle couldn't quite make the swipe. Well,
some lovely tries scored in this game, wasn't there?
Yeah, there have been. That gave us a score of 17 points to 7 at half-time, and then, well, at the start of the second, these were the lines that Nicholson was beginning to run, just cutting back on that inside line, and then able to put the foot to the floor and burst away to the line for his second of the game. And then I think the third was possibly my favourite. Just stepped straight in those last couple of metres here, spotted it.
Ball play from Hughes as well, just standing at the defence. As soon as the defence are looking in at Hughes, that's when he comes really hard and straight. So
it finished Southwark Lancers 29, Wasps 17. And as you can see, we are ready to move on with the next game that is here on the main pitch at the 2019 London International.